Welcome. My name is Kathy Salazar, and this is my interpersonal communications project for Liberty University. Stewart defines communication and communicating as continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning-making. Interpersonal communication occurs when people involved are contacting each other as persons. Enlarging the conversation. According to the communication skills test from Discovery Health, communication is an integral part in any relationship. Without good communication, it often can lead to feelings of betrayal, growing misunderstandings, and even social isolation. The foundation of solid communication is not making yourself be heard or expressing yourself clearly. There is always room for improvement, and according to my score, I am at a 78. Communication is about having a good understanding of where the other person is coming from, but always having the open lines of communication. I managed to get my point across in a clear, concise way, and also listen to others and understand where they're coming from. I like to do one thing at a time and do it right the first time. I've also learned that I am not a very assertive person unless people try to do things wrong. I choose to be humble, quiet, and my compliant self. Recognizing my weaknesses. Communicating effectively or opening the lines of communication shouldn't be forced or unnatural. The first step is becoming a good communicator, as paying attention to what makes a good communicator by observing habits and making yourself understood or understanding others. Practice makes perfect. Overarching goal is to develop my communication skills so that I will work towards improving my listening skills. Listening without advising is my weak point. I have to learn to time it properly, and I'm also pulled in for advice. I have to learn to sit back and to answer a question by asking a question, according to Peterson. Improving my listening skills, I have to strive towards level 1 listening. There are 3 levels of listeners: the listening in spurts, the hearing words, and the empathetic listener, which is level 1. At this level, I am being aware of my talker, or my speaker, and present at the moment. To acknowledge and respond, I will suspend my thoughts and all distractions so that I have my full attention to the listener. My behavioral blend. Who am I? A behavioral blend is how we can identify our specific personality type from 2 perspectives: what is expected of me and who I am. I am a CIS blend. According to Carbonell, the C personality is a passive, task-oriented, cautious, competent, polite, and contemplative person. My I personality is active, people-oriented, one that is inspiring, influencing, inducing, impressing, interactive, and interested in people. My S personality is a passive, people-oriented, one that is steady, stable, yet shy, security-oriented, servant, submissive, and a specialist. My qualities. My positive qualities is that I'm a people person, task-oriented, and I tend to think a lot. My negative qualities is that I'm immovable and unreasonable because I'm convinced that I am right. I may rub some people in the wrong way with my critical and fault-finding attitude. I need to learn to say no, and I need to stand up against those who want to use me for their selfish gain. I tend to also think a lot, so it is a negative as well as a positive. I have multifaceted flexibility, which is great when it comes to many projects and wearing many hats, but it's hard to get me grounded to doing and focusing on one project at a time. Potential barriers is interrupting. I have the habit at times to interrupt others while they are talking, especially if there is something on my mind. I sometimes have to take a step back to regain focus. My plan is being more empathetic as a listener, to being more receptive and sensitive to the full range of characteristics shared by my talker, and respond only to his or her impersonal characteristics. I need to focus, encourage, and reflect. In order to focus, I need to invest my time and energy to the person I am listening to. I need to encourage to pull more talk. To reflect. In order to help reflect my talker's perspective, I need to do this through paraphrasing, adding an example, and finally, gently persuading them through verbal and nonverbal inconsistencies. Noises. Internal noises are things that we do internally to build barriers. Hearing what I want to hear communicating effectively. It's not what is really being external communicated. Noises are a little different. These physical barriers outside is what happens when there's physical influence communicating effectively. What I'm listening. It can occur at a time when my energy may be low or when I'm fatigued. Understanding the importance of the role of the listener is key. It is a key characteristic of listener to establish empathy, genuineness, and warmth. External noises can be the speaker's monotone voice, the mannerisms, and the work pressures. The overall focus is listening with your heart and not letting these distractions get in the way of what is trying to be communicated. My plan of action is to reduce emotional disturbance by letting some of the emotional energy go. That way I can better decide what is the best thing to do and to say. I need to clarify my thinking. Making good decisions is best when you're thinking clearly. And increasing self-confidence is to listen with respect, not to take over someone else's problems. And the last is building supportive friendship. This is really connecting with the talker. Thank you for allowing me to share my interpersonal communication project with you.